Not too bad. Somebody told me this might be a good place to park your motorhome beside this, so you can have height to work on the roof. Paint it, these ones, after hours, not when the school's in, but today is Sunday. Is it August 10th? This is a school where a principal first contacted me because of the French lady used to work at the Hecate Strait Employment Center. And I wonder what would have happened if they would have been quicker with their referral, because I might have ended up deciding to work for the school district. And he wanted to just, hire me, part-time for French. And then he said, when I contacted it, I just learned the school district's already interviewing somebody for that. Okay, then they interviewed me, and I was very clear. My heart got broken many times by adults and certified teachers and administrators making wrong decisions, and kids cry when they only have me a few days, and then their regular workers come back. And I said, I'm not going to go through that again, so don't offer me that job. Hire me as a culture repair. And I don't mind being on probation in some sort of way, but make it clear, that I am a learning specialist, and please ask for my definition. And they never did. So I had to follow up with them a few times. Finally, they did reach references that are old. They're tired of my references of being asked. I don't have anybody else. They're old. A long time ago. A long time no see. Still, they said, we reached your references. We're good to go. You're going to be on call as a teacher assistant. Because that's a hole they needed plugged, right? I wish to. So I refused. I didn't refuse by giving them crap. I refused by saying I was disappointed. And, and I gave a copy of that email to the lady from Hecate Street. Now, she thought I burned all my bridges in Prince Rupert and all that, and she can't support somebody like that. Somebody that is learner-centered, child-centered. Somebody where I walk the talk of every child matters. Anyways, I dated a girl from Plenty of Fish who lives close to the hospital here. And, I told her on the second date, I said, I'm not getting romantic feelings with you. Is it okay if we go for the friendship? And she said yes, and we did a few things. Like, she mostly wanted to not be alone in restaurants, and I said, I'm not a big spender. I said, I prefer sharing meals with you. We cook half and half. And then also, we watched movies, we played Yahtzee, things like that. We had conversations, a couple of hikes. And some of the movies was I wanted to rewatch all three of the before sunset, before sunrise, before noon, I think is the third one, or before midnight. I can't remember. Anyways, they're powerful movies, man. They're well written, and it's such a good idea, just like my time capsule thing, to do these characters throughout their life. And she was admitting at the end there that further conversations on these movies would be challenging. And I knew kind of from getting to know her, she doesn't really have relationship skills. She said her parents never really argued in front of her. She was pretty sure they were happy. But also the parents didn't really show signs they had wanted to have kids, So many people who don't want to be alone, they just go through the routine of being together and having kids, and the kids grow up in this, right? No role models for healthy relationships skills. I think it would have been hard for her after the third movie. That was, this is what it looks like being with somebody that long, and love, you got to work harder to keep it in the future and all that. And but what's sad is she worked as a school counselor, and now she works as a school teacher, but now she works as a counselor with the BC Ministry of Child and Family Development. And I don't see her as having better skills, because we would counsel each other a little bit, I don't think she talked about some of her training. She didn't really apply it with me, and I applied some of my training with her. And I know she kind of was jealous I had a cat, but she had strong allergies to animals and things. And a lot of her illnesses, I could say, were partially psychosomatic. She needed to address things. Of course, she could get that counseling for free with me, but it means being ready for it. And of course, she wasn't. It didn't stop her from working in schools or for that ministry, and for them to hire somebody they identify with, right, who have their own issues. Sometimes, like if you go a place like the hospital here, and it's your turn, let's say, to be seen, or you go ask a question, and somebody's talking about their life with somebody else that works there, and it's their job to take care of you, they get upset because their friend was talking about something that was either touching for their friend to share their story at work, and the other person was, maybe it's not something super personal, important, or challenging in their friend's life, but it's something they're curious about, and they get upset with me as if I'm insensitive while they're at work for expecting me to be a patient. I see this everywhere. I saw so many teachers in staff rooms that complain about kids, and I could tell they don't have the skill sets to work with kids, let's say as life skills coaches, which would resolve these issues, not things you learn to be in teacher training. So you're not qualified to deal with kids like this, but you're certified to do it. So I think it's pretty sad. So I think this lady I used to date here, I think one of the reasons maybe she didn't even have the courage to explain she was going to stop talking to me or interact with me or stop inviting. She didn't even talk about it. That's how advanced she is in her skills to pass on. Is I think she might have not wanted to be alone, and she might have decided to get a cat or a dog that might have had minimal allergy responses to them. And still probably she did get advanced reactions, and I think that's probably why that I'm not hearing from her. It's because she's making bad choices instead of, like, let's say, nurturing a good intimacy and a friendship with me, or learning better relationship skills, or being comfortable talking about relationships. Is, I think, to not be alone, she was gonna get a cat or a dog into it. That's who the employed people are that I'm supposed to admire, while I exist as me, who can help them so that they can become somebody I could admire.